This is a summary of press releases from Japanese electronics manufacturers on 28 November.
We're going to jump right in and see what's new. All right, first up, let's look at a couple of new services that are aimed directly at you and me, the consumers. We've got updates from Sharp and Panasonic.
So check this out. Sharp is launching a really clever service called Print Kujira. They've teamed up with Shogakan to basically turn the copy machines in convenience stores into on-demand merch printers. If you're a fan of a particular series, you can walk into a Family Mart or a Lawson and print out exclusive photos, stickers, and illustrations. It's a super smart way to connect digital content with physical collectibles, and it's rolling out to about 32,000 stores starting December 5th.
Next, let's talk about Panasonic Housing Solutions. They're tackling a very specific Japanese challenge with a new service called Reno-UP. You see, a lot of people are inheriting older wooden houses, and there's a huge demand to renovate them. We're not just talking about a new coat of paint, but serious upgrades to make them as safe and energy efficient as new homes. The thing is, these performance-enhancing renovations are super complex, and for smaller local construction companies, it can be a tough market to break into.
And that is exactly where Reno-UP comes in. Think of it like a business in a box for these smaller firms. Panasonic gives them everything they need: marketing guides, a speedy estimate tool that can slash the time it takes to get a quote from weeks down to days, and, most importantly, all the technical support and manuals to handle these tricky renovations. It really empowers local builders to get in on this growing market.
Okay, so we've seen what's new for consumers and small businesses. Now let's shift gears and look at the big stuff. Tools for major enterprises. Fujitsu has a couple of significant platform announcements that are aiming to streamline some pretty complex industries. First up from Fujitsu is their Cloud for Insurance Japan Edition. And you know, the strategy here is really smart. They've taken a globally proven insurance platform from SAP Finir and customized it specifically for the Japanese market. It handles all the core stuff, contracts, payments, you name it, but it's already set up to comply with Japan's unique regulations and business practices. For insurance companies, this means they can modernize their old clunky IT systems way faster and cheaper.
But Fujitsu isn't stopping there. In another major collaboration, they've developed a brand new platform for the bearing manufacturer NSK. This one is built on Fujitsu's Sustainability Value Accelerator technology, which is all about helping companies track their products and materials to create a real circular economy.
So this platform is basically the backbone of a whole new way of doing business for NSK. It tracks every single bearing from the moment it's made all the way through its life in the field. It pulls in data from NSK's systems and their customer systems, and it uses blockchain to create a tamper-proof record of everything: maintenance, greenhouse gas emissions, you name it. This lets them know exactly when a part needs service or if it can be reconditioned and reused, and they can prove the environmental benefits. Pretty cool stuff.
All right, let's move on to some important internal changes. We've got updates on corporate structure and pricing policies from both NEC and Panasonic, and these will have some real-world impacts.
So, NEC is doing a bit of reorganizing. Starting April 1st, 2026, they're moving key parts of their domestic fire and disaster prevention business over to their subsidiary, NEC Networks and System Integration. Now, this isn't just shuffling papers around. It's a strategic move to bring all that expertise under one roof, so they can be even more competitive in providing critical infrastructure and digital government services.
Meanwhile, over at Panasonic, there is some really good news if you're in the market for a new air conditioner. Effective February 1st, 2026, they are slashing their recycling fee. It's dropping from 990 yen with tax all the way down to just 550 yen. So you've got to ask, how'd they pull that off?
Well, this is a perfect example of how innovation can directly benefit all of us. Panasonic says this huge price cut is all thanks to cost reductions they achieved with their own brand new technology. They've actually developed automated systems to dismantle the old units and recover the freon gas, making the whole recycling process way more efficient and a whole lot cheaper.
And to wrap things up, we've got some really fascinating news from the world of R&D. We're talking about some potential game changers from Sharp and NEC that are pointing toward the future.
Okay, so Sharp and NTT Docomo teamed up for an experiment, and the results are pretty incredible. They used AI to manage home air conditioners by learning usage patterns and the home environment. And get this, they were able to reduce average power consumption by a whopping 33.5%.
But here's the real kicker. Saving energy is great, but not if everyone's uncomfortable, right?
Well, in a survey, over 95% of the participants said they had zero issues with the comfort level in their homes. This is a huge deal. It's the first time in Japan that a system has proven it can deliver both massive energy savings and keep people happy. That's a major milestone.
And finally, we have a development that could have massive implications for medicine. A major three-way research collaboration was just announced, and their goal? To create the next generation of cancer treatment by developing what's called a common neoantigen vaccine.
This partnership is a real dream team. You've got the Cancer Research Society, which is providing tons of high-quality clinical and genomic data. Then, you have NEC using its proprietary AI to sift through all that data, find the best targets on cancer cells, and actually design the vaccine. And finally, Taiho Pharmaceutical steps in to conduct all the immunological tests on the vaccine candidates. By using AI to find targets that are common across many patients, the hope is to create a vaccine that can be ready to go for lots of people, not just personalized for a single individual.
If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a like.